There is a reason why your kindness feels exhausting. There is a reason why being nice to everyone does not bring you peace, but leaves you feeling used, drained, and invisible. You were taught that being agreeable makes you likable, that accommodating others is the key to respect. But the truth, uncomfortable and raw, is this: pleasing everyone is silently destroying your identity. Your brain, your energy, your future, it is all being traded for the illusion of harmony. And today, that ends. Because this is not just a motivational speech. This is a rewiring, a scientific, psychological, and emotional shift. Neuroscience has revealed something deeply unsettling. When you suppress your boundaries to avoid conflict, you literally rewire your brain to abandon your own needs. You become more anxious, less confident, and more prone to burnout. Being excessively nice is not noble. It is neurological self-harm. You are not here to be liked by everyone. You are here to live your purpose. And the moment you stop treating your time, your values, and your peace as negotiable, everything begins to change. Your brain, your behavior, and your confidence start to reflect who you truly are. So listen carefully, because the next few minutes may confront every belief you have about kindness, self-worth, and human connection. But if you stay with it, if you absorb what I am about to share, you will never walk into a room trying to please anyone again. You will walk in already enough. This is the science-backed awakening your mind has been waiting for. And it begins with the truth no one ever told you. We live in a society that glorifies niceness. We are told to smile even when we are uncomfortable, to nod even when we disagree, to stay silent even when something feels wrong. But beneath this surface politeness, millions are battling anxiety, chronic stress, and a haunting sense that they have lost themselves. Why? Because being nice to everyone often means betraying your own values. Dr. Andrew Huberman, a neuroscientist from Stanford, has spent years studying how our brain's reward systems interact with people-pleasing behaviors. What he found is striking. Constantly seeking approval from others activates the same dopamine circuits that form habits. You train your brain to chase external validation and ignore internal alignment. Over time, your authentic voice gets quieter, your confidence erodes, and your stress increases. This is not just about emotional exhaustion. The brain literally becomes conditioned to expect rejection if you say no. That means every time you want to speak up or protect your boundaries, your nervous system triggers fear as if you are facing a threat. Your body floods with cortisol. Your heart races. Your voice trembles. You are not weak. You are neurologically wired to avoid conflict, even at your own expense. But here is the good news: this wiring is not permanent. The brain is plastic. It changes based on how you train it. And for the next few minutes, you are going to learn exactly how to train your brain to stop being excessively nice and start being authentically strong. This is not a call to become rude. It is a call to stop being silent when you need to speak, to stop shrinking to fit spaces that do not deserve you, to stop apologizing for existing. Are you ready to learn the habits that transform niceness into self-respect? Because once you stop performing for others, you begin living for yourself. Kindness is not saying ease to everything. Kindness is not self-abandonment. True kindness begins with clarity. Neuroscience shows that authentic, sustainable kindness activates the brain's empathy networks when it is grounded in boundaries. If you are constantly giving beyond your limits, your brain will associate kindness with depletion. That association kills compassion. You must start redefining kindness as something that includes yourself. Say to yourself, kindness to others does not mean cruelty to myself. Repeat it until it becomes a truth in your nervous system, because people-pleasing releases a short burst of dopamine, but leaves a long trail of regret. Your real power begins when you practice kindness rooted in truth. And that means sometimes saying no. Being kind should not feel like suffocation. It should feel like honesty. Learn to pause before you agree to anything. Ask, am I doing this from love or fear? If the answer is fear, fear of judgment, fear of disapproval, then it is not kindness. It is self-erasure. When you redefine kindness, you give your brain a new model. You train it to recognize boundaries as healthy, not hostile. And over time, that reconditioning becomes your new normal. Guilt is the most misunderstood emotion. Most people think guilt means they are doing something wrong. But in truth, guilt often arises when you break a pattern that kept others comfortable at your expense. Neuroscience has shown that guilt activates areas of the brain linked to social pain, but pain is not always a signal to stop. Sometimes it is a sign of growth. When you begin building boundaries, your brain will interpret the pushback from others as danger. It will feel uncomfortable. But discomfort is not the same as damage. You must practice holding your ground even when your body screams to retreat. Start with small acts. Decline a meeting you do not need to attend. Speak up when something feels unfair. Allow yourself to say, that does not work for me. These micro boundaries build confidence. Your brain rewires through repetition. Boundaries are not walls, they are doors. They let the right people in and keep the wrong energies out. The more you honor them, the stronger your inner voice becomes. You owe no one an explanation for protecting your peace. And every time you do, your brain remembers that you are safe even when you say no. One of the most common traits among those who are too nice is over-apologizing, saying sorry when you have done nothing wrong. It is not humility, it is a learned survival behavior. Apologizing constantly signals to your brain that you are a burden. And it trains others to believe it too. Huberman's research shows that repetitive verbal patterns shape neural pathways. If you tell yourself, I am 20 times a day, your subconscious mind begins to adopt guilt as a personality. Replace sorry with thank you. Instead of sorry I am late, say thank you for your patience. Instead of sorry to bother you, say do you have a moment? This simple language shift retrains your brain to perceive yourself as valuable, not apologetic. Your presence is not a problem. Your voice is not noise. Your needs are not excessive. You have the right to exist boldly without shrinking. And when you stop apologizing for taking space, your brain begins to associate your presence with strength, not shame. This is not about arrogance. It is about dignity. The more you own your space, the more your nervous system learns that confidence is safe. When you try to please everyone, you betray your values. You say eyes when your heart says no. You agree when your gut is screaming otherwise. And over time, your identity begins to erode. Your values must become your compass. Write them down. Be clear. Whether it is honesty, peace, growth, or truth, know what matters most to you. Because without clarity, you will chase approval from everyone and receive validation from no one. Your brain is a prediction machine. If you do not lead it with purpose, it will default to people pleasing for safety. The solution is conscious alignment. Choose to honor your values even when it makes you unpopular. Choose them even when it is uncomfortable. When you live by values, not reactions, your stress decreases, your sleep improves, your confidence grows. Why? Because your nervous system no longer feels like it is in a constant fight for approval. It feels grounded, directed. Living your truth may offend some, but betraying yourself will wound you deeper. The fear of rejection is ancient. It is biological. Our ancestors depended on the tribe for survival, so being excluded meant death. But today, being disliked by someone will not kill you, yet your brain still reacts as if it will. Dr. Huberman explains that social rejection activates the same pain circuits as physical injury. This is why saying no, setting boundaries, or disagreeing can feel physically distressing. But pain is a teacher, not an enemy. You must train your nervous system to tolerate rejection without collapsing. Practice exposure. Say what you mean in low-risk situations. Disagree respectfully in conversations. Let someone be disappointed without rescuing their feelings. This is not cruelty. It is maturity. Each time you survive rejection, your brain updates its prediction map. It learns that disapproval is survivable. And eventually, that fear begins to lose its grip on you. Rejection does not define your worth. It refines your strength. And when you stop fearing it, you start choosing your life. You were not born to be agreeable. You were born to be alive, awake, whole. There is a fire inside you that politeness has tried to smother. But deep down, something greater is calling. Every time you silence yourself to keep the peace, you fracture a piece of your soul. But today you are remembering who you are. You are remembering that your voice matters, that your needs are not too much, that your truth is worth defending. This journey is not easy. Growth never is. You will lose people who benefited from your silence. You will face moments of doubt, waves of guilt, echoes of fear. But you will also gain something priceless: self-respect. There is no greater peace than living in alignment. When your words match your values, when your boundaries match your worth, when your choices reflect who you really are, not who the world told you to be, you are not here to entertain everyone's comfort. You are here to live your truth, and that truth will change your brain, your behavior, and your destiny. Right now, you have a choice: to continue shrinking yourself for others' approval, or to step into the power of authenticity. No more guilt, no more apology, no more pretending to be okay with what drains you. Speak your truth, set your limits, own your value. Start today. The next time you feel the urge to say I is when you mean no, pause, breathe, and choose yourself for 21 days. Practice this. Set one boundary each day. Replace one apology with gratitude. Affirm to yourself every morning, my truth is valid, my peace is a priority, my voice matters. Your brain will not change overnight, but with consistent action, it will transform. You will feel safer in your own skin, more confident in your choices, more alive in your life. This is not just a speech. This is an invitation to stop being nice and start being real, because the most powerful version of you is the one who no longer needs approval to breathe freely. Start now. The world does not need another polite puppet. It needs your truth.